Hi, I'm Heather Warlick, reporting for NewsOK.com and the Oklahoman. And if you've been to Las Vegas or New York, or even if you've never left the state, you've probably heard of Cirque du Soleil. The show began in 1984, actually, the company, with 20 street performers. And today, the Canadian company has almost 4,000 employees from 40 different countries, including more than 1,000 performing artists. And today, I'm joined by Richard Degenais, who is the Senior Artistic Director for Bunco. Bunco is in the middle of a North American tour of more than 40 arenas, and it'll be hitting Oklahoma City in December and also Tulsa at the BOK Center.
Yes, so I'm very excited about it.
Yes, welcome to Oklahoma, first of all. Thanks for being here. Tell me about the show. I mean, what can people expect?
Bunco is our longest running show right now that we have. It's celebrated 16 years, and it's a little bit of an exploration in urbanization. So the main theme of the show is how do we evolve as people through our interaction that we have with others, and the most interaction that we have is really in an urban setting. So what we were trying to do with this show is to put a positive spin a little bit on that concept of urbanization and that phenomena of urbanization. And instead of going for things like pollution, noise, crime, traffic, all those things that put stress into us, we sort of put that aside and say, okay, what's positive about it? So that's the general theme. However, Bunco is, it's not a narrative show. It's not like you're going to see a play, you have a text, you follow it from beginning to end. It's much more evocative. It's images, it's themes, it's creating an atmosphere. And in that we integrate beautiful music, because we have a live band, and very interesting characters. Acrobatics, of course, the type of acrobatics that people are used to from Cirque du Soleil. So that high level of acrobatic is in there, and with a staging that makes it all look seamless from beginning to end.
And so you said that it's sort of that urban experience. So is there a moral or a theme to the show?
Not necessarily. The way we like to, especially Franco Dragon likes to develop a show is it will let people draw their own conclusion. I mean, obviously it's a positive show, so it's a positive outcome that we want to show the public, and we want to touch them, we want to make them think, but mainly we want to entertain them. You know, we want them to have fun. We want them to feel like kids again. So that's the goal. And if we see people leaving with a big smile on their face at the end of the show, then we succeeded.
All right. Well, the production features 47 artists and some pretty amazing sets. It used to be performed only under the big top, but last year it was brought into the arena setting. And so tell us a little bit about the production side of this. I mean, what does it take to set this thing up in all these arenas and to break it down afterwards?
Well, one of the main challenges that we had with this transfer from big top to arena is how do we do that very effectively and very quickly? Because in a big top we will stay there for a month and a half, 2 months, sometimes even 3 months, and we have about a week to transfer everything, and really 10 days before each shows, and the end of one city to the beginning of the next show in the following cities. So lots of time, and you know we have lots of crew to do it. In an arena, we change cities every week, and we basically have 2 days to carry everything from one place to the other and set up everything. So we've been pretty good at changing, first of all, the sets to make it much more compact. Now, for some people it might not be compact, but we were able to reduce it to 12 trucks to carry everything. So for us it's small. We take about 8.5 hours to set up everything, and 2.5 hours to tear it down, which is quite an accomplishment for us. Actually, I think the record is 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Wow.
So the crew was actually quite impressed and quite happy with that.
How many are in the crew?
We have 18 in the crew, but we also hire a lot of locals to help us out on the day of setup and days of teardown.
Right.
So that they're going to help with carrying everything from the trucks, and but the main the rigging, the sound, the lighting, all this stuff is done by our 18 people.
And speaking of the rigging and sound, it says here that more than 600 feet of trussing holds the acrobatic grid. You've got the rigging and all the lighting elements that are above the stage. So what else is involved in the stage setup?
Well, of course, the main stage itself is very important, and that's the main piece of technical equipment that we had to modify, because the old stage took a long time to put together. This one is really like a bunch of Legos, and you put it all together, and that's why it saved us a lot of times. So that's the main piece that we had to modify. And the rest, of course, we had the bandstand, so we put and the sound equipment, which is very important. And it's a challenge because each arena is very different. So sound-wise, we have to do a lot of adjustment when we get there, tweak a little things. A lot of times we have to wait until the first show when the public comes in, because the sound will be different when the arena is empty or when the people are there, so the way that they absorb the sound and so on. So we make a few adjustments here and there.
So the music was composed by René Dupéré.
Yes. And
you said it's performed by a live orchestra, is that
live
correct?
Band. We have five member band, and 2 singers that do the live music. And it adds a nice layer, a nice dimension to our shows. Instead of having recorded music, having live musicians, and they're terrific.
And tell me about the costumes. I mean, this is one thing that it's well known for the costumes.
Yes. We put a lot of effort in our costume. There's a lot of costume changes during this show, and each character has its own design. The details, actually, that we put in the costume is important for us. So you'll see a lot of different colors, a lot of sometimes embroidery in it, details on the shoes. We make our own shoes. We make everything ourselves. It's all made in Montreal at the headquarters. So we have our own costume department that has all the patterns. And something that's interesting that a lot of people don't know is when an artist comes into Cirque du Soleil for the first time, we will do a molding of their head. So that when we need to do a hat or anything, we don't need the artist itself. We have the exact dimensions of their head, so we can actually create everything around that bust of each artist. So if you go to our costume department, you will see each artist that has been through, because we have a sculpture of them.
You just see thousands of disembodied heads everywhere. It sounds like a creepy wax museum or something. Well, that's great. So for the viewers, you can buy tickets to see Salt and Bunco at BOKcenter.com or also at FordCenter.com. You'll be at the Ford Center in Oklahoma City December 3rd through the 7th.
Yes.
And at the BOK Center in Tulsa, the 10th through the 14th, I believe it is. So if you are anywhere near Oklahoma City or Tulsa, you should definitely buy tickets to see that. It should be an awesome show.
It is a great show.
So it's a family show for the whole group,
yes. Kids love it, and parents too. They really, really enjoy it, so please come and see us.
Okay. Well, Richard Degenais, thank you so much for being here with us today. It's been a real pleasure. And I'm Heather Warlick, reporting for the Oklahoman and NewsOK.com.